Hello and welcome to KHM Today, your weekly go-to resource for industry news and straight up fun. I am your host, Carolyn Orff, and I am coming to you live from my cabin in Grand Lake, Colorado. Unfortunately, you can't see the sun shining. I had you all set up so you could see the beautiful trees and a little snow and some sunshine, and it made me look like I had this big glow. So we had to move things around a little bit, but you can see I'm in my winter gear, and I don't know about you guys, but in the last year, you find those things that are sources of meditation and motivation for you. And this is some place that I can go and relax and get away and just recharge my batteries. So I'm excited to welcome you all to my home up here. We have such an incredible lineup this week. Beth Kitzman with VAX VacationAccess is back to show us more money. Kevin Kelly from KHM Travel Group Department. We have Justin French from Carnival Cruise Lines, and hold on to your seats because Chantel Nye from the education team here at KHM Travel Group took on the task of the Carnival Cruise Line's melting chocolate cake. She sent me pictures on Monday and it looked amazing. So we are going to hear how it went for her in the kitchen. Before she reports on her cake, let's go ahead and get this week's headlines. Welcome, Chantel.
Hello, everybody.
There's our baker.
I am Rachel Ray's sister, Chantel Ray. But first, because we are having Justin French on, look what I found. Yeah. My Travel Agents Rock t-shirt. I had to wear it. I even wore it last night when I was making the molten lava cake. So it got me in the mood. Okay, so let's get on to headlines. It kind of started out as a slow week, but then it ramped up today. So it looks like Washington, D.C. is getting inundated because the travel industry is sick and tired and frustrated. So the travel industry urges President Biden to come up with a plan to reopen U.S. borders and to resume cruises from U.S. ports by July 1st. So yesterday, they set in place a plan to have international travel reopened by May 1st. It was a coalition of 26 companies and organizations representing airlines, unions, and travel advisors. The roadmap is to safely reopen international travel, and they would love for it to be finalized before May 1st of this year. So the plan is to reopen by the summer of 2021 if vaccine distribution and the numbers of COVID are going down. Obviously, they don't want anything to happen. They don't want anything, the numbers to go up, but enough is enough. We need deadlines. So they have also called on the leadership to develop uniform health credentials for travelers, which I know we've been hearing, little spatterings about this. Begin bilateral negotiations to ease travel restrictions through public health corridors. Develop clear benchmark and transparent framework for determining when all inbound travel restrictions can be lifted, and prioritize the resumption of international travel on the agenda of the upcoming G7 meeting of the world's leading industrial nations. So a day after that, ASTA. So we have Zane Kirby, president of ASTA. Sorry, we've got one more here. He sent a letter for the resumption of cruising and set a July 1st date for the resumption of sailing from U.S. ports. Kirby said, with everything that we're doing, the proper masking, social distancing, nearly every other form of human activity has been cleared. Dining in restaurants, attending movies, sporting events, overnight stays, traveling by air. So what's going on? What's going on with cruise? Kirby said that the ongoing restrictions are unwarranted given that COVID-19 vaccinations are on the rise. Approximately 25% of all Americans have at least received one dose, and with the number of those fully vaccinated daily. The CDC's continued inaction in removing cruise restrictions imperil livelihoods and communities in South Florida because Miami and Fort Lauderdale, those are the biggest ports of call. So they are just begging that something to be done. So it's in the works, guys. Let's just keep praying on our knees, keep praying. Okay. Next headline. Mexican Caribbean debuts VISITAX system to facilitate new tourism fee. Okay, this was blowing up all day yesterday. I know Bill Coyle is going to be on his Facebook Live on Friday with Amstar because they sent out an email yesterday about this. So basically the government, through the Quintana Roo Tax Administration System, has launched the VISITAX system to facilitate payment of the fee. The fee will be charged to international travelers and will be approximately $10 per person, depending on the exchange rate. Travelers may pay prior to arrival, upon arrival, or during their stay, and the payment will be verified once they leave the state. So if you do this through the website, you'll be able to pay the fee and you'll get a receipt by filling out a form. The form will request the following information: number of people traveling, name, age, passport number of each individual, departure date, and payment information. Once you have done this, you must show your receipt at the airport checkpoint prior to boarding. Travelers who don't have a receipt at the airport will receive assistance and can pay at that time. So Quintana Roo, the state of Quintana Roo is made up of Cancun, Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen, Isla Cozumel, Isla Mujeres, Holbox, Tulum, Mayacan, and Gran Costa Maya. So it may not be on the website right now, but it's coming.
Chantel, in your research, did you find any indication that suppliers are going to start putting this automatically into a package if you're putting in those destinations?
I haven't seen
that would be the
yet. That would be phenomenal, right? That would be amazing. But with the system set up, I don't know. So wait and see, and when I hear, you will hear. Trust me.
Thank you.
Next headline. Cruise lines starting to operate using foreign ports because we're getting antsy and they're looking for other options. The latest and greatest to join the list is Royal Caribbean is going to be sailing out of Bermuda in June on the Vision of the Seas. The new 7-night cruises will also feature a stop at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, the private island, and an overnight in Bermuda. They are going to be available June through August, and you can start booking March 29th. They will depart as soon as June 26th. Sailing with vaccinated crew, the cruise at this time will only be able to adults who are fully vaccinated and those under 18 with negative test results. The current health and safety measure, like others, we're still waiting. We're still waiting on the health and safety protocols for cruising. So that's coming later. And in addition, travelers must meet the travel requirements of Bermuda. So you're going to be flying into Bermuda, right? This currently includes receiving a negative PCR test result before traveling, testing upon arrival in the country, and filling out the appropriate forms. So just be aware of that. And earlier in the week, on the KHM Facebook pages, I included the list so far, which is going to join Crystal Cruise Line is going out of the Bahamas. Royal Caribbean is also going to be going out of the Bahamas. Celebrity is going to start out of St. Martin. MSC and Princess, they're actually going to start in the UK doing some summer for UK residents. Intrepid Travel, Intrepid's new tours, upscale and socially responsible. So last week we talked about Globus and how they're having their choice tours. It's something different that Globus is doing. Intrepid Travel, which is in the KHM portal for our KHM agents, we are registered with them. They are starting a new kind of travel called Intrepid Premium. The category offers more than 70 trips in 40 countries. The trips are 4 and 4.5 star accommodations, private transportation, train journeys, and more exclusive experiences. It's going to launch January of 2022. Their aim is to become a world leader in sustainable, experience-rich travel, which they identified that most of their customers were seeking a higher-end product with a purpose, which is very interesting. So something you might include in your travel would be a sand dune dinner under the stars in Pushkar, India, a cave hotel in Cappadocia, Turkey, an eco lodge in Uganda in the forest, And many of these are using renewable and alternative energy sources, which is so great. So again, it aligns with their focus on rebuilding responsibly, and just trying to give people a more sustainable option, which I think is fantastic. I love it. And to end on a fun note, as I always try to do, the Flop House Hotel in Round Top, Texas is made up of recycled shipping containers. Okay, this is great. The hotel is made up of recycled shipping containers. Each one is gutted and refitted with bedrooms and bathrooms, all using harvested wood from Matthew White is the owner of this. So wood from his farm in upstate New York and reclaimed lumber from a distillery in Kentucky. And then to add more to this, the windows that were installed were salvaged from a school in Philadelphia that was up for demolition. The funky vibe keeps going with kitchen cabinet bases from a laboratory in Brooklyn. And for the countertops, we used old bowling alley floors from Texas. This sounds so great. They are going to be building more. They only have 6 right now. Each unit also comes with complimentary coffee, tea, sparkling water, and Mexican Cokes. They have fire pits, hammocks, and there's a lake nearby. And if you love it so much, you can have them build you one to live in. Available for purchase, they will custom build one to fit your specifications and ship it anywhere in the world. So I'm in. Who's with me?
I love it. My husband has actually stayed in one of these in Phoenix. It was an Airbnb and it was a shipping container. And I never really figured out, like, where was it? Was it in like a yard or a parking lot? I never quite figured it out. But yeah, he stayed in one and only time. He didn't love it. He didn't love it. But
he didn't love it all. Well.
He tried it. But you never know. And I love the name. Gotta love Texas. Thank you,
absolutely. Have a great day.
We are happy to welcome back our next guest. Beth Kitzman is here from VAX VacationAccess to show us more money this week. As we talk about cruising, they're not lighting up, she is going to show us how we can make more money and service our clients by offering a full experience, including pre and post cruise using VAX. Welcome back, Beth. I gotta take these off. It's like giving yourself a seizure.
I'm excited to be back. Always excited to be back.
So we're talking all about cruising this week, and this is a way to offer not just the cruise, but the full experience and be that fantastic full service agent for your clients. So what do you have for us?
So when you spend a lot of your day on VAX anyway, why not build the pre and the post and the air along with it so that you can earn some extra commission for yourself? So you can do a pre or a post very easily. To start with that, you would do that on the one destination page. You could start it with the basic tool on the home page too, because you can do it throughout the process. But I just have it all set up here so that I'm using Apple Vacations flying out of Milwaukee to Fort Lauderdale. They're departing on the 16th, but the cruise departs of September, and the cruise departs on the 18th. So we're just adding the number of pre-nights to the number of cruise nights to make it 9. And then all I need to do is go down to the hotel, open that up, and this is where then I will check in on the 16th once I arrive, and then I check out on the 18th when you're going to go ahead and embark the cruise and take off sailing. And then your flight for the return home is all set for you.
And the term we typically use when we're doing this is offsetting the dates, correct?
Offsetting your hotel dates, which you can do for many more things than just pre and post cruises, but it sure works well for this.
Great.
Now, if you want to do a pre and post, then you want to go to multiple destinations. And I've got another tab all set with that one as well. So here I am departing out of Chicago need to make sure I include my travel protection. I'm going to use the same scenario pre-cruise. So I've made it for 9 nights. And as I open this up, where it says additional hotel options, this is where I go ahead and set my embarkation date. So I'm going to check out before our client embarks for the cruise. And here I've included a hotel because we need it for those 2 nights. I've also included a car, and wait for it because you'll see if you're going to extend your trip after as a post, then you'll go to destination 2. And in this particular case, my clients are going to Phoenix where they're going to stay with friends. So I don't even need a hotel. I wouldn't need a car, but they're going to stay for 5 nights. But I've got my car under where Orange County, where I'm going to pick it up when I get off the cruise. And I can adjust those dates just like I did offset the hotel dates when I do that with my car. And then destination 3, I'm going to go ahead and my clients are going to go to Santa Fe before they fly home. So super easy. You can continue to add destinations. You can add up to 9 destinations for any of your multiple destination trips, which is fantastic. And then as you scroll down, when you go to the rental cars, this is where you'll pick out your car, offset your dates, and you're all set and ready to go. And don't forget, you can always add that booking administration or your extra commission to set your own commission. And if I went fast, if you use the search button and you do pre-cruise, you will find that there are multiple resources to help you book that as well on VAX. So you don't have to memorize it from me in this 3 minutes.
Perfect. Beth, thank you so much. And I do have to tell you that I was so encouraged over the last couple weeks by the things that you've shared with us that I did actually set my own commission last week for a booking that I have booked and canceled and booked and canceled, and they're lovely clients. But I did think, you know what, I think I've earned a little bit extra on this one because it's been 1.5 years and I'm ready to make a little money. So I was encouraged by everything that you shared with us the last month.
Good for you, because you earn it and you deserve it.
Thank you. Thanks so much for being with us this month for Show Me the Money.
Always happy to come back. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh gosh, there's so much to learn in that system. It's amazing. You guys, I am so happy to welcome our next guest. Let me make sure. I'm very large on my screen. I can barely see anything else. Don't know that I've clicked through my slides here. Kevin Kelly from the KHM Travel Group Department is back with us today. He made an appearance last week when we did our St. Patrick's Day cocktails battle. He graciously took second place, right, Kevin? But I will tell you, he is always first place when it comes to the super cruise that he puts on every year. So please welcome Kevin Kelly. We'll see him pop up here in a second. Hopefully. There he is, live from the office. Oh, we can't hear you. There we are.
We all right now?
Now we can hear you.
All righty.
So welcome.
Thank you.
You have been the driving force behind the Super Cruise for many years. Can you share with us, just kind of a brief history of where it all started?
I can. Okay, now I'll move quick. But I got into the travel industry, much like all of the agents, most of the agents that work with us today, the travel advisors, they got in it as a hobby. And I got in it. I would go on cruises with my friends, came home, told my mom, I said, you have to get on a cruise. This is the greatest vacation you can go on. Well, she's like, I don't know, we have to get your father on it. So my dad wouldn't go. He said, I'm not dressing in a tuxedo, that type of thing. He said, let's see if anybody else wants to go. I put a group together that year. I ended up with 54 people. And then before you knew it, people were asking me questions about cruising because I was cruising all the time. So I decided to get into the business. Well, we would cruise and we would come back. And at that time, it would be shoulder season when you would book. It was a little different in those days because you went off of the brochure. And we'd come back and we'd do a Super Bowl party. And we ended up growing that group to 100 people. And then we'd have a Super Bowl party. And I said, geez, if I could figure out a way to put this on a ship, America's sports holiday, on a cruise ship, it would be the greatest. And we did it our first year. We booked it on the SS Norway, and we ended up with 810 people. And I devised a system where we were going to give away $100,000 of cash and prizes on the ship, and it worked. And that's kind of how it came about. And then the way it came about really is that one of the big negatives in cruising was, at the time, majority of the group that went, these 800 people, were on their first time cruise. So I knew the ship, I knew the product, I knew in my head what we were going to do, talked to everyone, got everybody signed up, but it was the men that really didn't want to cruise. Men didn't want to cruise. They thought it would be too stuffy, too confining, all the negatives that you find that are virtually really have gone away because
Right.
they're smooth sailing and that type of thing. But that's how it grew, and then it continued to grow. And it continued to grow year after year. And I got the chance to come over here with Jeff Cox and Rick. And, I've known these guys for years and brought the Super Cruise over because I wanted to include other agents in it. And it's been great. And it's a lot of fun.
So Kevin, would you say, I mean, what I take away from that is something grew, but it started off with friends and family.
It did. It started with friends and family. And if I had to give advice to anybody getting into the group business, start small and work your way up. Okay. Because I made the mistakes. I got in, my first year, I cultivated all my people from my own backyard. Then the next year I decided, well, geez, I'm going to spend some money and I'm going to go out and I'm going to advertise and I'm going to do all these things nationally. Well, the person down in Georgia wasn't dealing with the guy up in Cleveland, and I wasted a lot of money. And I realized that when dealing with groups, the acres of diamonds, like they say, are right in your own backyard. You don't have to go looking for them. And then my business just continued to grow because when you just get into groups and you start doing groups, you book them in bunches, you have a load of people together, and then they peel off and come back to you. So I've had, people come back for 50th birthdays, for retirements, for family gatherings, all types of different groups come back to you from this. And then from this group, we've done bus trips in Ireland. We've done a Europe cruise every other year, with 100 passengers. And so showing you the money, that's, when you get in and you get successful at groups come to you, and everybody has a group within them. And there's no doubt about it. And this was my group. I started out doing a come with me group. Let's go. We're all going on a cruise. And then it grew into this theme cruise.
How did you were met with some objections early on by people that had this vision of what cruising is. And I hear this all the time. And it's so funny to me because still, and I'm not sure where this came from, because a lot of what we think cruising is about came from the Love Boat. And I never remember seeing 24-hour buffets and just people drinking nonstop. So I don't know where this vision came from, but that's what people think. How did you overcome some of the objections that people were giving you?
Well, really word of mouth. Word of mouth worked. You know what I mean? Word of mouth. I started cruising with my buddies and friends because of the Love Boat. I mean, why not? The Love Boat, showed us that moms and daughters went on cruises together, and and they wore high heels around the pool, right? So, anyways, I got in my 20s. So I mean, that's when I got into cruising. But once I went, and I was a firefighter at the time, so I was doing this as a part-time business, and I would come back to the firehouse and talk of my experiences. I mean, it's the cruise is, I'm a cruise freak. And then over the years, I became a Carnival freak, as everybody knows. That's my go-to cruise line. I just absolutely love it. But everything is there for you. I tell people, I said, geez, the entertainment, the food, going from one place to another. And as you started to describe, it's really not like, it's not stuffy. And then once these people would come on board, it was the word of mouth. And that's where groups really bring a lot of first-time cruisers, because this reluctancy of guys that wanted to go, all of a sudden now their wives are buying it for them for a Christmas present, and they're buying the super cruise and putting the deposit down and surprising them with the super cruise. But you know who would come back to book the next super cruise? The man. Every time. I'll tell you, my wife we home-based our business under KHM, and of course, and she'll tell you the majority of phone calls now come from men, and men saying, hey, I have a buddy, he's going to be calling you. Make sure to see if we can get a room close to him. So this word of mouth really overcame a lot of objections. And staying local. You know, this is the way I branched it out now across the country. While people have moved across the country that have gone on the super cruise and have brought friends from around the country, and it's grown, around the country. But really, the agents are the best. Your travel advisor that knows the super cruise. We had a gang come on a couple of years ago. Our last one was canceled, but they came back, and this year they're bringing friends because they understand what it's all about and the fun. And a cruise is fantastic. And when we do the super cruise, it's everything that's offered to every guest week in and week out, and then we put our unique twist on it by including America's Sports Holiday and then a bunch of other events that go on during the week.
So agents have the opportunity, and I should say KHM agents have the opportunity to also sell into this cruise. How do they go about doing that?
So in the portal, you just go under groups and click on Super Cruise. We have a little course that gets you educated on the Super Cruise, and then you can get certified and be a certified Super Cruise seller. Once you get in the portal, it will unlock all kinds of features. The marketing team, and that's the beauty of being over here at KHM. This marketing team is off the charts here. They put together flyers for you. They put together banners that you can share on Facebook. You have your own website, your own Super Cruise website with your contact details on it. And it's just your site. If somebody goes there, they don't go to somebody else. They go right to you. So these are all the things that I was able to accomplish I couldn't do on my own, but I can accomplish over here at KHM.
Awesome. Now, you did mention something real briefly. 2020 was, of course, canceled. You had to do kind of a big pivot. Can you share with us what that looked like? Because, you were sold out, correct? Or almost sold out because people were We
were getting close. We were getting very close. Right now, Justin's off camera. He's scratching his head going, oh, boy, I remember dealing with these guys. But anyways, and then, it came to the point where we knew we weren't going to have a sailing anymore. We couldn't. Even before the sailing was canceled, we knew we were unable to provide the programming on board because we weren't going to be able to gather, and one thing led to another, but essentially it canceled. So now we usually take space out. We grab our group space for the Super Cruise a year and a half, sometimes 2 years in advance. Now we had to scramble. We were only a year out, a little over a year out, and we had to see if we could get that kind of space on the ship. Lucky for us, the stars aligned. Everything worked out. We had the same ship. We have the brand new Mardi Gras, the same itinerary, and we were able to get the space on it that we need to bring the group on board.
Amazing. And for 2022, you are 50-ish or 60% sold out already?
60, yes. We're at 60%. We're probably closer to 70, actually. Yeah.
And before I let you go, we had a great conversation a couple weeks ago about this, and you said it sells from the top, most expensive in.
Yes. When you do groups, when you get repeat groups and you do groups like this, people don't realize. And somebody told me from a different cruise line one time, people are going to want to move up and that type of thing. But now we have balcony staterooms on the ship, and we have these beautiful suites. So on the Super Cruise, and I talked to a lot of agents that do big groups year in and year out, they see the same thing, and Justin will tell you the same thing, that these ships sell from the top down and the outside in. So our suites are sold out in the first week. People are calling with the suites. So we'll have people that'll graduate. They'll graduate from an interior room to a balcony room, and then all of a sudden it's their 25th wedding anniversary, and now they want the big suite and they want to celebrate, or it's somebody's birthday. And we see a lot of that, and they give themselves the excuse to spend the additional money. But so there you go. That's what show me the money is, because people are upgrading year after year with your groups, and creates a larger commission. The other thing people don't realize when we talk about show me the money is that, when I came over to KHM, you start right at the top commission level. Do you know how hard it is to get at the top commission level with Carnival Cruise Lines? You have to do a lot of business, and our collective business together. So for people that are watching today that may not be part of KHM, know that you're right at the top. You have the support here. We have a great support staff with Carnival. Our relationship with Carnival is fantastic, but then we're at the top commission level as well. Another thing I just wanted to talk about when we're talking about some of this stuff is that when you do groups with Carnival, get to know group fund points and flexi pricing. That is really, really important. When we talk about, a group I looked at the other day had 6 points on it. You could use a couple of the points and get a $50 onboard credit for the room. You could get chocolates and champagne upon arrival, and then a $25 bonus commission for the agent, and using the points that are built right into your package price. So that's a little something.
Amazing. Kevin, thank you so much. You guys, if you're with KHM Travel Group, please make a call, set up a time to speak with Kevin or any other member of the group's team to kind of help you wrap your head around groups and how you can make more money with it by starting with your family and friends and growing from there. That's absolutely amazing. So
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And if you're not with KHM, give me a call. I've had several people call me that have groups, and they really do. They call me and say, why would you come over to KHM? I came over to KHM. I can let you know why. So if you're part of KHM, give me a call. If you're not, call and we'll get you on board. But thanks, Carolyn.
Thanks, Kevin, so much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, I hope you learned a lot from that. If you are interested in selling the Super Cruise, be sure to go into the learning management system through the travel agent portal if you're a KHM agent, and take that course so that you can be one of those certified Super Cruise salespeople. So next up, I am so excited to welcome our next guest. I had the opportunity to meet him just a few weeks ago. I was immediately impressed with his extensive travel industry background, but more than anything, this gentleman can speak about the royal family like they are his next door neighbors. And I love the royal family. So please help me welcome Justin French, Regional Vice President for Canada and the Northern US at Carnival Cruise Lines. Justin, welcome.
Hi there, Carolyn. Nice to be here.
Thanks for being here. Hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties this morning, or I should say this afternoon now, right? Everyone's on afternoon. So I'm so glad that you're here. I think I can hear you. We might have to take your camera off, but that's okay. Everyone can see what you look like now. Carnival is going into its 49th year. Congratulations on that. I think the big pressing question that probably everyone wants to know is, do you think that Kathy Lee Gifford is going to make an appearance for the 49th or 50th year promotions?
Well, unfortunately, that's not something I'm going to be able to share, but it's a great idea.
So you can pass that on to the marketing team.
We'll pass it on. And as you know, and we might mention it later, but we do have a new ship coming next year called Celebration for our 50th anniversary. So lots of great stuff happening in anticipation of 50 long, tremendous years of Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah, so we had an opportunity to talk a couple weeks ago about some of the things we were looking forward to speaking about today, but you heard some talk in the headlines about, other cruise lines sailing out of ports of call in the Caribbean, and ASTA's big push. Do you have any thoughts on that? Are you frustrated with kind of the CDC's line that they're towing on cruising? And does Carnival have a thought on this?
Well, it's interesting. Obviously it's encouraging to see other lines making announcements about returning to sailing. And, for us, we haven't made any announcements, or we haven't come to any determination just yet. As you know, today, our current return to sailing officially is June 1st, but obviously that's subject to change. Time will tell. But what I can tell you is that, it's encouraged to see the level of vaccinations that are taking place, obviously in the US primarily, which makes up the bulk of our customers. And more importantly, the improved public health and safety that's taking place as well. So I think all of those things are lending themselves to some interesting decisions in the weeks ahead. But what I can tell you is we are in constant communication with several different governmental bodies, including CLIA, the CDC, and also different, obviously infectious disease experts and scientists that know all about this disease a whole lot better than we do. So as of today, no take on whether we'll do anything similar to what the other guys are doing, but we just hope to get restarted soon in the US as quickly as everyone else wants us to.
Oh my gosh, normally I like to split my time between the types of vacations that I love, cruising and all-inclusives in Europe. And this week I have been craving a cruise like no other. I mean, it's almost like a food. You just start to just wish you could get on that boat.
Yeah, the interesting thing, going back to Kevin's topic, the super cruise, my last cruise was the Carnival Breeze, the super cruise last year. Unfortunately, I had to leave early, and I departed in, I think it was Martin or St. Thomas, and flew home. And that's the last time I've been on a cruise. I've done 150 cruises in 17 years and never on a year without a cruise. So it is time to get back on board.
Right. So we've talked about this year being a year like no other. What sort of positive changes have you seen throughout your organization that were a result of the last year, but are things that you're saying, this is fantastic, we're going to keep doing this?
Yeah, I think what's interesting is, some things have changed and some things have remained the same. Some of the things that changed are things like having thousands of employees work from home versus working in a headquarters environment, leveraging technology, of course, and being more efficient and learning to work outside normal working hours, because the pandemic obviously has created some unique challenges for people who normally are not used to working from home. So there was a lot of growing pains in the beginning, not only with technology, similar to what we're experiencing today with myself, but also with people being able to stay focused and motivated in that environment. Some of the other things that we had to do were move ships to a warm layup status, so they need to be ready at any time. And what we did was we moved 120 employees crew members on each of the ships, brought them back to U.S. waters, and we're waiting and ready to go for when we get the green light, so to speak. And that being said, they are ready to go as far as the CDC is concerned with the green light status. So that's the good news. So now it's just phase 2 and next steps. The other thing too that we decided to take a look at during the pandemic was rerouting our ships to different home port destinations. So for example, we used to have maybe less efficient older vessels in Long Beach. This is just one example. And as of the fall, we're going to have 3 big, beautiful ships with lots of balconies, even doing 3- and 4-day rotations. So the opportunity for a much greater experience, and obviously our commission earning opportunities for agents will be prevalent in a market such as Long Beach. But that being said, a lot of things haven't changed. Our customers remain very loyal, obviously. We continue to offer programs that drive business. And travel advisors, the importance of travel advisors was always important, but it will never be as important as it is moving forward as we work towards our return to operation and getting through the pandemic to the other side. We're working with a number of programs that we put to the table to hopefully make it easier for you not only to sell, but to earn money, like protecting commissions through until the end of 2022. Working on FCC toolkits and these kinds of things. And then, what we're really excited about during this whole process is the delivery of the big, beautiful Big Rob. And she will home port in Port Canaveral in the not too distant future. And what's exciting about her is it's the first roller coaster at sea, the Bolt. And she's also the first liquid natural propelled ship in North America to join the fleet. So that's real exciting, and we can't wait to welcome her to Port Canaveral and hopefully in June.
So when you get on that ship, what's the first thing you'll eat or drink?
The first thing I'll probably do is go to Guy Fieri's Burgers and have a big cheeseburger. that's kind of my go-to. Even if I'm not hungry and I've already had lunch, it's one of those things you just crave and you miss. So that'll be number one. And there's so many food options on that ship. It's going to be amazing, from the Emerald's Bistro to the Cucina di Capano to the Pizzeria de Cap. Like, there's just, I mean, the Sky's Big Chicken, you name it, it's on that ship, and there's just some great options that are going to be on board.
That is my favorite thing to have as well. And I am not, I try to watch what I eat, but the minute I get on there, I beeline it right for guys. So
Yeah.
You mentioned that you've got ships ready with 120 people on them. This is the first time I've heard any line say that they're ready to go. What are the crew members doing right now? Are they cleaning? Are they doing enhancements? What do they do all day?
Yeah, I mean, minimum operations, cleaning, taking care of the vessel. Obviously, it's the minimum number required to operate the ship. I got to believe that there's a number of things that need to take place on a regular basis, such as even as simple as flushing toilets, just to make sure that everything is up to snuff when it's time to go. Now, keep in mind, 125 employees is not a big number as compared to the normal number of employees on board. So I think, there'll be announcements about crew returning to ships once we make an official announcement about the next step in terms of protocols and the official return as far as our start date is concerned.
Okay. Now, you all have really done some creative things this year when it comes to reaching out to travel advisors, making it feel like we are all part of one community, which we are. Can you share with advisors where some of that mentality came from and some of the fun things that you guys have done to stay connected?
Yeah, it's a good question. And as a matter of fact, there are so many things. I had to make a little list here just so I didn't forget anything, because the BDMs, Chris Schutz is obviously the superstar BDM for KHM. She's done a great job, obviously, developing relationships and working with KHM over the years, and she's a valuable resource. But just things like the fundamentals of successful selling. We gave the team some things to run with, and that's like a 9-module selling series that they have the ability to earn a certificate, not only learn about Carnival, but learn more about how to be successful as a travel consultant or travel advisor in terms of what they sell day in and day out in all of what they sell. We created virtual cruise park toolkits, so travel advisors have an opportunity to showcase not only their business and themselves, but also the products and destinations that we offer. We also have done a number of virtual ship inspections. So like the old days when we're able to actually go to the port and visit the ships, those will be coming back, obviously, hopefully in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, they've worked on those, and they've been just tremendous number of views. And those are hosted on our CIAT website, which is a Carnival Independent Agent Team's website. Let me see, what else are they working? Oh, this is something that I think is new, that it's a special preview here. This is kind of like breaking news, because we have not mentioned it to any other travel advisor or travel company. We're bringing back the WHATA parties. So the WHATA party is an acronym that stands for Why Use a Travel Advisor? And these will be virtual parties as opposed to in person. But these are great opportunities for why someone should be coming to a travel advisor to make their next booking or take advantage of booking a next memorable vacation versus going somewhere else. And I think that what you do day in and day out is an invaluable resource, not only for us, but for the industry and for all industries for that matter.
That's wonderful. So which is a great segue into my next question. We've got a lot of agents who, are hesitant, right? You're hesitant to sell, you're hesitant to put yourself out there. Do you have any advice for agents as far as, you know what, it's time, let's start selling again?
Yeah, it's a great question. It is time. I mean, we publicly stated that bookings are very strong, and obviously the pent-up demand is tremendous. So you think about the thousands and thousands of FCCs out there that are just waiting for people to take advantage of making those bookings. But more importantly, we're seeing not only new to cruise, new to Carnival, as far as new bookings are concerned with 2022 and beyond. So, I mean, I think it's a great time for travel advisors to get in front of their customers, inspire them, talk to them about that next destination, talk to them about the cruise ship that's right for them. Have those virtual cruise parties, take advantage of the virtual ship tours. And I think that a good social media campaign for travel advisors is key. And I think as part of that successful selling series, you'll see that one of the modules is all about how to better yourself with regards to social media. Because we all know that most people turn to social media before they make a buying decision, because they trust friends, they trust colleagues, they trust relatives in terms of what they're saying about a particular product. And I think it's really important for people to embrace that and take advantage of it. But definitely we're open for business, I guess is the best way to put it. While things slowed down in the past, they've come on full steam ahead. And I guess if we're not having positive conversations about booking a vacation, and they're doing themselves a disservice, and they could be missing out on some opportunities.
I completely agree, and I can't thank you enough for being here today. We want to make sure, not only is Justin a wealth of information, but he's also a good sport. So I want to share with you all that we both spent some time this week working on our towel animals. And let me just share my screen here so you can see that is Justin's creation. I'm going to show you mine here. This is harder than it looks, folks. So here is my elephant. The hardest part is the ears and the nose, but you will see there is a video that I have created to help you all in this endeavor. Yeah. If you go to the KHM Today page in the My Travel Agent portal, you can see me creating this elephant. And we should share with all of you that those KHM at Home segments, along with these segments, are now on YouTube. So you can go back and reference these. You do not have to go to the portal anymore. I know there were some technical challenges there. So they're all on YouTube. You can go see me and watch me make my elephant. It took us, what, you said 3 times? I think I was about the same of watching YouTube and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's about 3 times. And it depends on the size of towel too. You've got to use certain towel sizes. The legs to bend easier, and those are Velcro eyeballs, believe it or not. So I was went over the top on this one.
You're right about the towels. I actually went to Target and bought the cheapest towel I could find because it was thin enough to roll for the legs. So, and I was able to make it work. We have one more special giveaway for everyone. Apparently, the Travel Agent Rocks t-shirts are the most comfortable t-shirts in the world, so I'm told by agents. So we have 3 to give away today. Justin, would you tell us 3 of your favorite numbers from 1 to 127?
Let's go with 52. Let's go with 12 and 31.
31, 52, 12, and 31. Chantel's going to take a look at our list of agents that are on today, and she's going to come back at the end of the show to tell us who our lucky winners are. Justin, thank you again for being here. We can't wait to get on the ship with you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation. I was thinking this morning, by this time of the year, I would have already been seen my favorite KHMers by 2 times, maybe 3 times, perhaps. So I'm definitely needing a KHM fix in the not too distant future. So I just wanted to say thank you for all you do. Thank you for what you will continue to do. And we appreciate the, it is a partnership, but it's really more of a friendship. And I think
Absolutely.
that all of you go above and beyond and are a great resource and just do a job. Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in the near future on a ship or in the office. Thanks, Justin. All right, you guys, we welcome back Chantel Nye from the KHM Travel Group Education Team. She joined us in the kitchen this week to make the Carnival Cruise Line's warm melting chocolate cake, and she had great success. Welcome, Chantel. She was so nervous about this, and you did amazing. I wish I was there to taste it.
Oh my goodness, it was very intimidating. Okay, so I have to explain to you, I got the ice cream on the plate a little early. So now it's melting all over the plate, but can you guys see this? Okay, so I have the molten lava cake. I have the melting ice cream that's all over the plate. And then what is this? This is peanut butter. So Chris Schutz, I know you're listening. Marie Smith, I know you're listening. Every time they talked about, here I am again. Every time they talked about the molten lava cake, they talked about this peanut butter sauce. So I didn't have sauce, so I just had Jif. But it doesn't matter because you take a bite of the cake and then you get the peanut butter and the ice cream and it's delicious. And honestly, yes, I was very intimidated. I like to bake, but this is Carnival. Like, how am I going to do this, right? So I practiced on Monday. That's when I sent you all the pictures. And then I did the video. So you guys, please don't laugh at me. And the fact that I have laundry baskets in my kitchen, like, didn't even think of that.
Hey, we said it was KHM at home,
Right? Yeah, it's
we didn't
home.
say KHM at a clean home. There was no adjective before that.
That's very true. That's very true. But honestly, you just need to time it right. Honestly, get the butter and the chocolate, get that melted and cooling, and then get everything else together. And I'll tell you what, within 10 minutes, I had this all ready to go. I baked it for, it says 15 to 20. I baked it for about 17, took them out, put that powdered sugar over and dipped in there. And oh my gosh. Yeah. Like you, I was craving a cruise this week.
Well, and this is such a perfect way, between the towel animals and cooking something that reminds you of vacation. We've said it before, guys. If you can't go for whatever reason, bring the vacation to you. It's so important for just your well-being, and then market it on social media. Share with your clients what you're doing. It'll make them feel great as well and probably inspire them to travel. Thank you so much for taking that on. That's super great. I'm going to go try that recipe myself. Do you happen to have our winners of our Carnival t-shirts?
Well, gosh, that was
that was very quick.
That was
if
very
you don't,
quick.
We'll just let the winners know. That's okay. If you
How
can't.
about that? Would that be okay?
We should have done it that at the beginning. Yes, because as you guys know, Chantel has to go through and count. So yes. So
they're not numbered for me.
Right. As I'm finishing up, count before everyone starts logging off. You guys, we have had such a great show this week. And as a reminder, we mentioned it just real quick. These shows are now available on YouTube. So whether you're with KHM or not, or you need to go back and reference something, feel free to pop on there. If you just use KHM Today in the search tool, you'll be able to find them along with the KHM at Home segments that we've done separately outside of the show. As a reminder, we are finishing up Q1 of KHM Today next week. I cannot even believe that we have done this for a whole quarter. It has been amazing. Q2 is coming up, and you do need to sign up again. So that link is available on the KHM Today page in the portal. If you are outside of KHM, it is available through the Travel Weekly and Travel Insider Report. I think that's where it is. Links that you clicked on originally. So that link is being updated, so you'll be able to sign up for Q2. We hope that you'll all join us. We've got some incredible guests coming up for April, which is going to be our family fun month. So next week, we've got sales tips. one last segment of Show Me the Money. Matt's back to share with us some of his favorite destinations in Matt's Compass. And we've got a very special guest next week. Kristen Malloy, Vice President at Delta Vacations, will be with us. So have a great week, and don't forget to do something just for you. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining.